if I understand this correct. Required by the tribe.
The 10% is required by the tribe, correct? And we gotta go through the bank, it's gonna be the machinery, and he still can use his machinery. It is gonna be reimbursable in September. That's gonna put it at 6 months. It'll be reimbursed. It won't be no cost to transportation.
I guess the only guarantee I can ask for is, I haven't seen any documents in black and white as the reimbursement for the $600 or $6 million grant. I haven't seen any documents that pertain to the Veterans Cemetery at all. But like I always said, you know, this is your equipment.
Yes, Ms. Wagner.
Well, I guess it kind of sounds like there wasn't any communication between the fifth member's office and the transportation department, because I asked him that earlier. You're going to collateralize what equipment from transportation? He said motor fuels, and that's what I'm thinking. He said motor fuels. So I asked him, did they ask you first of all, that this was coming? And I think he said this is the first time he's seen that resolution. So what committee brought this forward? Finance? EB&D? And because I kind of looked at this, and you know, I said something earlier about the first one that didn't make the 2/3 vote. Kind of almost sounds like a rider. DC uses that, congressional people. They want to attach a bill onto something and present it because they want it to pass a certain way. That's what's kind of happening. I hate to say that, but that's kind of what I've seen with this today. I think some of us seen that. But it's really concerns me is because you said the veterans are saying this is like a 10% from the veteran side. In order to make the loan, we're going to collateralize the transportation equipment in order to make the loan with the bank. Is that my understanding?
You know, Council, this has been ongoing here for I don't know how long, and in the last administration, and we got documents back in our office. We can get it together for next council, run it back through everybody's committees.
Yeah.
As far as it being with transportation, Mr. Roos had gave a copy of what he had brought together. Depreciation, what new equipment they have.
Zoom in on what's his name over there in the black.
Mr. Kelly already, he has, and he has presented it over there, left a copy out there with transportation from what Mr. Gary Roos says. We will bring it back just one more time, but I think either we need to pass this for the veterans or we need to kill it at this next council meeting.
Keep it way up there.
We're moving too far, we're going to end up losing it, being put back on the bottom of the list. We either need to get on the vote and vote yes for the veterans, or don't vote at all by next council meeting because it can throw us back another 5 years. But I'm going to leave it at that, and you guys can kick it around, but I won't plan on bringing it forward unless you guys pass it today.
Well, I think that, don't get me wrong, Mr. Poyer. I think that what I'm questioning is that there seems to be no communication with the transportation office, is what I'm saying. Because you're saying one thing and he's saying another thing. And so what I'm saying is I don't want to kill this. You know, I have a husband that's a veteran, and I have fathers and uncles that are veterans. So don't come get me wrong on that. You know, I think we're going to probably end up dealing with it, but you know, I'm just saying, you know, let's make sure that we agree to something. And I don't want Mr. Roos just going over there, getting a list and coming back and saying, this is what we're going to do. You know, he needs to be talking with the appropriate people too. So, was you aware that we're going to collateralize your equipment?
The only contact that Gary Roos had called and asked me if we had $1 million worth of equipment, because quite some time ago we used that same list to pay off.
No, stand up by the speaker.
The last administration was when we ran into the Chochleshka issue, and I think some of the council members from last administration, we collateralized motor fuels and we made a loan with the bank because we were in a bad situation with Chochleshka at that time. So we made a loan, and we did give Mr. Bruce some direction to go out and meet with Dave, get all the inventory of what he had at the transportation department, which he did. Now that was it's 2 years ago. So now, my understanding is he's using the same process, but he didn't go through you the second time. Okay, so that's where we messed up. There's communication between Dave and Mr. Bruce, so Mr. Bruce needs to be maybe, just told that he needs to maybe talk with the appropriate people before it comes to the council floor.
Thank you. And so, Mr. Watkins, you gonna move to talk about paperwork?
Yeah, the paperwork